So many bee puns, guys. So many bee puns. I should have expected it. But my favorite one was biatch. I like that. I'm gonna call some people a biatch. Hey everybody, this is David, and I'm going to be talking about Arrow Season 4, Episode 17, Beacon of Hope, or Beacon of Hope. Or bacon of hope? I don't know. Okay, bee puns, right. Let's get through this. What did I think of this episode? This episode was a lot of fun. I gotta start that off right off the bat. I really enjoyed this one a lot. Despite the bee puns, I'm okay with puns once in a while. I use puns myself every now and again. But at least it wasn't that bad. And, some of the puns did get a laugh out of me. I really enjoyed that. So we got this villain back from The Flash, and she's now attacking Team Arrow. And yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it. I don't remember liking her, though, last season. But I liked her better in this episode, which was great. And having her be the villain attacking Felicity. And there was a lot of really good moments. Like, I really enjoyed that moment where Felicity had a heart-to-heart talk with Thea. Like, we got to see Thea and Felicity really hanging out and, surviving this, attack. And Mama Smoke was there, too. And she had a lot of great moments, too. I forgot what was my favorite moment right now, but there were a couple really funny moments with Mama Smoke. And, there's this whole who's in the grave thing lingering, and I don't think it's gonna be Mama Smoke, especially after seeing this episode. Even though she had a couple of semi-dramatic moments in a couple of episodes ago, I feel like her character isn't going anywhere. She's going to be around for a while, and I don't think it's gonna be Felicity either. Thea is still up in the air for me, and so are a couple of other characters. But I'll give my theory on who I think is in the grave at the end of this video. I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff going on in the Arrow Cave. Like, a lot of the stuff with Arrow, like, Oliver training all the other guys, and they're all, failing miserably against him. I thought that was a really cool scene, and having Oliver, he's still not quite there yet of getting past Felicity. And I mean, breakups aren't easy. I know how that feels. And so it was really good, that heart-to-heart talk that Oliver even had with Laurel. There were a couple of really good heart-to-heart talk moments in this episode. And it got me thinking, that Laurel-Oliver scene, that there were a couple of scenes. It got me thinking, it seems like they're preparing her. Because, let's face it, in the comic books, if you know the comic books of Green Arrow, Oliver and Laurel are a couple in the comics. They, Black Canary and Green Arrow are one of the most popular comic book romances within the superhero comic book world. And so I have a feeling, judging from this episode, that this is the writer's way of setting up that romance again, getting it ready to blossom a little bit, because I really loved Laurel in this episode. I've been liking Laurel a lot this season in general, and I've been starting to like her a little bit in the second half of season 3. So I feel like this season has definitely improved Laurel, mostly because they really put her in the background a lot, I think, this season. And it felt like the writers were, okay, let's put her in the background for now until the right moment. And I feel like now's the moment they're going to be making her into the character we always wanted Laurel to be. And that gets me excited for upcoming episodes. I just hope they don't drop the ball again like they did with her in season 2 in the first half of season 3. I don't want the annoying Laurel. Give us more of this Laurel. The Laurel that's actually supporting, because we want to see our characters support the main character, because when they talk back to the main character, we start to hate them. And we don't want to hate these characters. We want to love them. Just like all the characters in The Flash are lovable characters, we want to enjoy all these characters here. And I feel like this is the best Laurel has been used in a long time. We also get Curtis helping out the team. This was really cool and funny. I feel like he has the potential to be the Cisco of Arrow. And, if Felicity is really thinking of doing her own little thing, I feel like Curtis would be a welcome addition to the team. I feel like he could fill in that Felicity role, and I think that's what the intention was here. I feel like this episode was to help set up Curtis to be part of Team Arrow. And personally, after watching this episode, I think they could use him on the team. He brings a new, dynamic. Well, he brings something that I guess Felicity already had, just in a male role kind of way. And I've been liking Curtis this season. I've been liking him since the first episode he was introduced, and I've been liking him all the way through. And now we get to really see him shine. I think this was Curtis's shining moment. So let's see him become a superhero too and kick ass with the rest of Team Arrow. I want to see him put on a costume and going out and fighting crime. Or even in the Arrow Cave. I don't mind that either if that's what they want to use him for. But I think he can even serve both roles. We also have Damien Darhk still in prison, and he's clearly trying to find a way out. He even discusses things with Merlin, but Merlin is like, no, you know what? The rest of the guys, they want you still in here. They think it's better if you're just stuck in prison. So Damien Darhk's gonna be pissed off. And people are giving him problems in prison. He's not having a good time in there because people are even beating the crap out of him. So Damien is like, here, you're pretty vulnerable now, But obviously he turns that on later. He turns the tables around, and now Damien Darhk looks like he's going to be busting out soon. Now he's taking control. He's gonna have a prison full of people. Maybe he's gonna build an army within, showing people like, hey, look who's the boss now. And maybe, who knows, maybe they'll help him get out of prison somehow. But the most interesting thing to come out of all of this is the very end of the episode where we think, oh, everything's nice and dandy now. Damien Darhk's in prison and he can't really cause that much harm, right? Can he? The twist is at the very end, Merlin's talking to somebody in a car, and I'm like wondering, who the hell is he talking to? And apparently it's Damien Darhk's ace in the hole, whatever that means. And we find out that the person in the car, this ace in the hole, or maybe I should say asshole, is Diggle's brother. What? I did not see that coming. And I'm like, so wait a minute. He was still bad? And now he's like he's the baddie now? He's a bad guy still? Like, when did this happen? I didn't even see no clues. It looked like he was cool and everything. But it looks like, nope. Diggle Jr., whatever his name is. I don't remember Diggle's brother's name. And, because I don't care too much for the character. I love John Diggle, but his brother is just the opposite for me. And so maybe I'm happy if this means we're going to be killing him off soon. I have no idea. But yeah, Diggle needs to give his brother a piece of, of his mind, because this ain't going to be good for Diggle. Diggle's not going to be very happy. Now it brings me to next week's episode, which some people are already speculating because of the trailers that have been hinting that someone's finally going to die in the next episode. We're finally going to see who's in the grave. And what do I have to say about this? I think, here we go, it could be John Diggle. It could be Lance. And it could be Thea. I'm going to say, if I had to pick right now, I'm going to say it's Detective Lance. Because someone came up with an interesting theory that the episode that follows next week's episode, not next week's episode, the one after, is called Canary's Cry, which clearly indicates that it's going to be a Laurel-centric episode. Maybe that's a little spoiler there, and, maybe the CW didn't think, oh, no one will guess it. Maybe that's what they want us to think. But it sounds like Detective Lance is going to die, and then the following episode, Laurel's going to have to deal with the consequences. Like I said, I could be totally wrong. And maybe it is Diggle because his brother's evil now. And it could be Thea because why not? Shock value. But I feel like Thea had already had her chance to die, but they kept her alive. Obviously because they don't want to get rid of her yet. They want a Robin for Green Arrow, so they're going to keep Thea around. So, Diggle or Lance. Diggle or Lance. There's my two options. And if I had to go with one, I'm going with Lance. There we go, okay? I'm saying Lance is in the grave. We're going to find out next week. I'm very excited. I could be totally wrong. Maybe it's no one next week. Maybe they're still holding it off and they just want to yank our chain. Maybe they'll just give us another clue. Who knows? I'm giving this episode a 9 out of 10 because I really enjoyed it, man. This was a fantastic episode. Really fun all the way through. I liked B-Girl or Biatch. I'm going to call her Biatch from now on, okay? Felicity started it. And yeah, it was just a great episode. I really hope Curtis becomes a part of the team. This was one of the best episodes this season, maybe of the series too. I really enjoyed it. And really strong, well-written, well-directed episode. Perfect. I mean, this is what I want to see more of Arrow. And the Flash was really strong yesterday. You know, when Flash and Arrow are both great, that's when my week has been made. And yeah, guys, I'm ending it here. I think this was a great episode. And if you're wondering why this episode is a day late, it's because I went out and I had to see a movie last night. I got invited to an early screening, so I wasn't able to review Arrow yesterday, but here it is now. So it's never too late, especially if you guys want to know my thoughts on the episode. I'm always there for Arrow. It's just sometimes I might have to push it back a day, just in case something comes up. And what's this review, you might be wondering? I got to see an early screening of a movie called Midnight Special. It's a sci-fi film from Warner Brothers, and that review will be up tomorrow because apparently there's an embargo on it for like critics, and they said for formal reviews. And I don't know if my YouTube channel is considered, like my reviews are considered formal. So I just, for safety reasons, I don't want to get in trouble with anybody. I'm going to post it up tomorrow. I already recorded it. I just have to edit it and post it up, and then, yeah, that review will be there. But that's the reason my Arrow review and last week's review was a little bit late, because I had Batman v Superman last week. So I think that's it. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, and until next time, guys, I think that's good. Follow me on Twitter. Take care.